Yeah. So we'll go through the brief history because I can't cover everything. But over here, I try to make you guys comfortable watching a work of art. That's what my motive is while designing this slides. And so what we'll be talking about today is the what all can be the aspect that can be the ways of seeing of an art, of seeing ways of seeing art, and how to enter an artwork. So I put this slide because this is the earliest work that has come up like in a grandeur form, where you can go and what you see here is a great form and a massive big giant structure. So where when you go there, what you guys see is what time period it is made, it is made, when it is made, what bricks were used, I mean what material was used, and was it local or not. So these are the things that is being mentioned in the write up there, and you kind of tend to read it to understand what happened and how it happened. So what I'm trying to say here is why it was made. You have to understand that. I mean, the purpose of it, because the structures, it started with architectural forms. So art like this reliefs were part of the architecture. So in the initial time, the patrons were the rulers, the kings. So the kings showcase their belief system majorly and their lifestyle. So the first slide was their belief of after death. They had certain kind of beliefs of fantasies about life after death. So that's why it's a tomb. It's in the form of tomb, the pyramids. And this particular work, it's here. It's his daily life, his husband and wife. It's one of the thing Tutankhamun, and they have a particular way of showcasing their style. It would be very prophilic, as you can see. So, and similarly happened in India, uh, like other at this time period, not this later. They are also having such beliefs of they are showcasing their belief system, and kings patronized the work. You know what is patronage? What is what the patron is? If somebody doesn't know, can ask me. Everybody knows what is patron?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Patronage is to ask artisan to commission, like if you want to make a painting from a so and so artist, you will want your portrait, so it's on your demand. They make a work for you, so you pay for it. So it's not artist will that is involved, it is your will to make that work for you. So that is commissioning. So commissioning, so here you are a patron because you are paying for it. So that is patron. So kings, that's why I'm saying the kings and the ruler of that period was the patron of the art, because they could afford this big structural things. And uh, this is very this is a very luxurious thing, as you can see, affording such big grandeur things, and art being part of the architecture initially. That's what I'm saying. So this is Sachi Stupa. It's in MP, and this is it's a dome shaped, as you can see, and there is a avshesh of Buddha in every. This is also a particular. This is not life after that, I must say, but this is the people who believe in the Buddhism. Like Ashoka was the patron over here, and so here you can see the panel, the panel over here in the Torana. You see that this area, that's Torana. So this is the architectural part. We'll not go inside that. Each and every part is has name, a particular name, and also the barrigator was used to be initially in wood, very initially before this. But as money pour in, the patron, they put money to showcase their the valuable things. It's a valuable thing what they uh, you know show here. So it's made in stone, so it becomes little more expensive. So in that point of view also you can see a work of art. That's what I'm saying, how you can see a work, you know. Yeah, and this is so generally what they depicted in the stories were the Jataka stories of Buddha's life, because obviously it's for spreading that belief system, that religious belief system. And this is Konark Sun Temple. This you must have seen some images of these kind of sun temples situated in India all over. I don't know, many of you must be knowing or not, but these are the very ancient time period. They were people of their, as I said this again and I'm saying it again and again. This is of certain. This is a Hindu temple, so like these are different kind of beliefs. The ruler truly believed in it, and the art form comes later because it was part of it in India. So like this is I mean, oh, I just went back. So down here you can see the panels, like in west, in cathedrals there are altar pieces. So all from those altar pieces were part of the cathedrals. So art was still artisans were still working for kings. That is the point that I'm trying to tell you. They were uh, they were being paid for that. They were not yet free, they were not yet free from it. Art as an agenda to spread a religion all over the world. Christianity is in west, as you see, and Mughal era in India, and Hindu and Jain temples. I told you this is the particularly Hindu temple, and Jain temples are there. If you go to Mount Abu, Dedwara temple. So let's talk about also west. We'll be coming back and forth, but the time period I have managed, so you can just relate to it. This is one of the altar piece. Altar piece is that which is part of the church or the cathedral inside a cathedral. Cathedral is a church basically. So it is a huge. I have not put a cathedral's image. Those were the very very grandeur, humongously big enough structure, and these were the painting inside the church with the panel, like panel system. If you have been to a church, you will understand what I'm saying. So this is also part of that. So let's talk about it. Where artist came into, like his thinking came into forefront in front of the patron. I mean, over here on the left side, left hand side, this is a work that is being done by done reading a scripture or biblical notes or the flow or the what you can say folklore. So generally, who was knowing these scriptures were able to imagine the image, and generally they were from priests or other these people who read a lot. So they were artists at that time period, and over here this was made by his own imagination, the left hand side. But when he showed this left hand side work to the patron, whoever must be the commissioning the church, he was not satisfied uh, the way uh, the angel has been depicted. So that's why he said you have to be a little more respectful of the writer, the Saint Matthew. The painting name is Saint Matthew, so you have to be very respectful of Saint Matthew. So that's why that liberty was somewhere taken aback. Yeah. So that after that he made the right hand side work. But I guess he has made a lot. He has taken a lot of liberty in that work as well. I'm sure that is more colorful, so you must be liking that one more. But try to understand and look at the left hand side work, and the what you can say, what you guys suggest me. I want to know that. Please, each one of you can say something if anybody wants to say. If somebody likes something, or you know, this is the work by one artist only. It's a Caravaggio.
There is something special about his leg.
In the left hand side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks
Exactly.
like a cut or something.
Cut. Yeah, it's been shown very naturally, you know, very not very beautifully, yeah, beautiful, you know, very अच्छा ऐसे बैठे हैं and you feel like okay, it can be the moment of spur of the moment. So that's there, you know. Yeah.
Ma'am, I had a doubt. Can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, you said that artists in the previous eras mostly used art and architecture,
Yeah.
which says that the people around were mostly interested in positive spaces or the monuments and not in the negative spaces.
Negative, positive, I didn't use that word. Anyways, but what you're trying to say, I'm trying to understand. Can you again repeat your question?
The people or the audience around in the previous eras were mostly interested in the positive space and not the negative space.
Actually, this was commissioned by the kings. So the viewership that you're talking about, the people who used to see this, were the secondary part. It was made for the kings of that time, you know. And also this one is part of a church, a cathedral. So there is a vision of a patron. If you are commissioning a portrait today, so you want your hand to be like this, your hand to be like this, your hand to be like this. So that is also there, na. Entirely the artist imagination is been not there. It's restricted somewhere or the other. The freedom is being restricted. And I don't know what is negative
so
and
the
positive you are talking about. Yeah.
So, like, I mean that the audience or the king mostly concentrated on the figures or the arrangement of the figures. You said that in the previous eras, art was used mostly as, or in architecture, was mostly used in architectures. So the figures or the composition and even the frameworks or even the sculptures were like the human sculptures were like buildings and like all they were in the same shape as the monuments. So people were more interested in their figure or in their shape and not in the positive or in the negative space left out.
Actually, what you saw the slide was that period was medieval period in India. It's highly ornamented. There's no space in between. That's you can't say that same thing for Western art. The cathedrals were also ornamented, but they were having this the forms, the symmetrical forms and all, and paintings and the human figures were inside it. So what you are saying is the temple of Konark. That is highly ornamented. That's the feature of that period. That was the medieval golden period where artisans in India, I mean, they were. That's another topic where that's the beauty of that era. That's a golden period where artists kings pour in a lot of money to the artisans, and there was a lot of this is not made by one artist. This is made by generations of artists. That temple that you saw and we are talking about here are made by 3 generations of artisans. So you can understand how, you know, how it is made. And if you want to know more about it, it's the figure of that was made by one artist, one category of artists. Then the detail of the more detail and the ornaments were made by the other set of artists. There were groups. So this is how it was made, that particular work that you are talking about. Yeah. Okay, Khyati?
Yes, ma'am.
So don't mix Western and Indian, because बहुत कुछ हो रहा था तब. everything was happening here and there and all. But the main thread was, it was part of the architecture till now. Let's see next. So this is again now this is miniature paintings. It's until here, I mean, from here there were kings that had artists uh, in their courts, courtesan, and they had artists part of their courtesan. So thanks to the Mughal kings, they had that kind of stature they given to artists. That's why we are having names on our screen, Basavan and Chattar, and there were many other, Mansoor, and there were many other artists. So this, but again, the what you can see is the story of Akbar, how Akbar brings Elephant Hawaii under control. So it's again Akbar's life and his heroic, So there's Akbar Nama, and there is many other paintings like this type of.
Sneh, this picture was actually it was what was that picture that drawn by or worked by whom?
Basavan and Chattar is two artists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they have worked on not only this. I'm saying there's a set of works named Akbar Nama. It's a series of works. So on his heroic, when he's on tour, going for the wild hunt and all that. So that was the heroic. That's another. You have to study Akbar Nama then. कि उसका क्या symbolism है and what all the characteristic of it. So that's the thing, because every artist had their set of styles, but obviously it can come under one umbrella in the sense it's a miniature painting. So even what Ragmala paintings you were saying, there is a series of Ragmala paintings on before this happened, before this time period, just the contemporary. Well, it's coming from Rajasthani paintings, and it's again in that I've not kept those images. In that they are depicting the music, and if they're depicting a music, some raga, they are also depicting the mood. If it is night, they'll show the night. If it is day, they'll show the day. And also the if ragini and ragas are there, they'll show male, female. How the visual thing is getting into a person. Raga, raginis, and then there are names of raga. According to that, they depicted females. If you want to know, you can search more. And there is this website called, note it down if you want to, Google Art Project. So you can go there and search whatever artist and their work you can. But that site is under construction many of the time. You'll get, but it is amazingly documented there. So you can just zoom in and see. And you can also go into augmented reality. Augmented reality is that you are entering a gallery. That way they have done documentation. Next, this work is commissioned by Jahangir. That was the golden period after the medieval age. They had experimented. As you can see, the left side work is the work made in India, and just see the Christ is there, and this right hand side is Raphael. So actually he got some lost print that they found somewhere because of the trading or something. So they found this Raphael's, I'm not sure if this is this painting on the right side, but just look at it, it's so similar. So they found that print of it, and he said, I want a picture like this. So he commissioned that do this kind of work. So see that the king was so much involved in art, Jahangir, so much involved in art and artisans, that he wanted some new kind of things on his plate, experimenting, just see. So yeah, this is the first picture that I gave you guys, and yeah, anybody's thoughts on this, please?
When I was writing a comment, ma'am, I was thinking whether it was in the Louvre Museum. I had a doubt, so I didn't write it, but I knew.
But I told, I'm not sure if I mentioned in the drill, I didn't wanted data. But yeah, but what you see, it's in Louvre Museum, you can't see it here. Anyways, no offense, just I'm saying, to see a picture, you have to leave all the data that you have seen, because looking at it with a very fresh eyes is very, very necessary. Removing all the layers that is being given to you by it. So that's difficult, I understand, but that's an exercise you can do. Just don't think it's a Mona Lisa. Just look at her eyes. If you just see eyes and other kind of, just look at it. When I went to the museum outside, once I got a chance, there were people look. I just saw how people look the art there. I mean, in museums, they just standing in front of Van Gogh for like half an hour. I mean, half an hour. So that's there, and they're not moving an inch. So that's the involvement you have to. I'm not saying you have to do it, but just looking at it is important. At this age and time, I'll not talk much about social media, where it's going here and there. There's so much less concentration and less the brain can take of an image. So it's important to see. And I must say, the Google Art project is a very good website. You should, on and off, if your mood is swinging, just go see, go a Van Gogh museum in Amsterdam, write Van Gogh, museums will come there. You can enter the museum, just see his sunflower, this, that. Just see it, zoom it till the stroke you can zoom it. So just write it down, the Google Art project, art and culture, that's what it is. So this, anybody else want to say anything?
Now, Sneh, this 1 minute. I saw the comment of Avinash when you are in the drill, which you had gave. Avinash, he's here, and what he wrote was, "See, I have seen this picture many times." And he was, for the first time, he said, maybe he was caught in the eyes and the face, maybe. And he's saying, first time I'm saying that there is in the background, there is a river and all those things. This is the first time I'm observing that. That is what he commented.
Yeah, absolutely. I read that. And it was him only who was saying.
Avinash, I think.
Yeah.
Hrishikesh also.
Right.
Okay. So actually, that is important, that seeing what is behind the work, and also not because it's a portrait. People don't tend to see that's an amazing what you said, Das. Yeah. So
Avinash said, I just recollected.
Yeah. You have to do that, please. I'll keep on forgetting many things. That's why. Yeah. So now I'll tell you. Just look at her lips. Just look at it closely. Her eyes. Also her eyes. Yeah. What is common in that? Just try. Don't give
Shadow.
a very
Shadows.
Yeah. Anything else?
It looks like eyes are too smiling.
Eyes are smiling too. It's like,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Next.
Ma'am, is she missing eyebrows?
Yeah.
But that can be a feature of if a woman staying in Europe, can't be. I guess so. Anyways, it can be. What you're saying is right, but it can be a feature of a woman staying there. Generally, yeah, good point, but good observation. Next, anybody?
Eyes and the lips, they look 3D.
Eyes and lips look 3D.
Yeah, it looks like they have some depth in it.
Good observation, Alina.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
what's the mark on the forehead?
Mark, that's the cracks, because that's so old painting. That's why, nothing else.
There are many irregular structures and curls or rhythmic lines in the painting.
Likewise, like what?
Like design on her clothes, her hair, the mountains behind the river, everything. There is no straight line or a fixed structure.
have the direction of the smile and the eyes.
Yeah.
It's giving
Good,
a
good.
soft feel.
Skin is?
No, I'm saying that it is giving me a very soft feel. Like her eyes and her lips are like
Very soft finish.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of soft.
Yeah.
It seems like she has a pallu on her head or something.
Yeah. It's there.
Veil. I
Veil,
meant
veil.
that in my moment.
Yeah. Whatever it is called there. Yeah. Next.
In my age, I can say my tonight's sleep is also lost.
Why? All right. Anything else?
And she doesn't have eyelashes.
Yeah. That's there. Even I can't see eyelashes.
There's something on the right, like the top right thing of the screen. To me, at first looked like an explosion, and then it looked like an icy area.
That's
I got confused. That's why.
that's good. That's good observation. Yeah.
Like,
It looks ice. Some ice.
at first, to me, it looked like an explosion for whatever reason.
Yeah. Because we are living in such
Yeah.
age. That's why. Because we are living in such age. So that disastrous videos are there in our mind because that's what we see in day to day. That can be one reason.
Yeah.
One thing, Sneh, always before also when I see this work, what was catching my imagination was one is like the portrait is very much like a zoomed image. So there is a good detailing, which is understood. But what is behind looks like a far off sight. So it looks far off also at the same time, but then it is very detailed also. So how that far off stuff and detail is clubbed along with the zoomed detailing is something which amazes me.
Actually, that's because of the road coming in. Suddenly the blurriness and then road coming in, you just feel like there is a bridge also in the right hand side, icy berg ke niche, below. There's a small bridge if you see. Just look at it. But like iske aage. Did you see?
Plot 5.
Yeah.
There is a bridge if you see. So you have to see that close. That's what I'm saying. I saw the bridge right now. Oh my God. Yeah. So anyways, all the observations which you have given is so right and so correct and so, I mean, it's opening up because you are seeing it for the long time. That's what I'm saying. And also the technical part, let's go in that. Let's dig in. The technical part of this work is, it's work by Leonardo da Vinci. He has also painted altarpieces all his life, like in a Vatican. Obviously, it's Michelangelo also. Don't get confused in between Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. So he also painted altarpieces, and this particular work he painted. Some people say it was a commission, but most of the time they think it started with a commission, but it ended like 10 years. He repainted on it again and again. So as you know, this is a very popular image, and because the smile and the eyes, it's the shadowed so much that there's not a particular line that defines it. It's a blur. So you kind of think it's a mysterious smile. It's her mysterious smile is always in controversy. Like, is she smiling? Is she making some what you say different kind of smile, or she's sad inside? Because the lines, you zoom in and you see the lines. There's no lines depicting the exact cut of the lips, of the eyelids, of the eyebrows, of the also the eyelashes, exactly what you suggested. So that makes it more mysterious because iska expression samajh mein nahi aa raha hai. There is that's what the artist over here made. Uska ye what we can say. It's a very amazing that he managed to do something. Otherwise, before that, everything was a story. the Christ, this resurrection and annunciation and the biblical story. So over here, he's trying to break the connotation of, he's making the viewer confused. Also, not with the smile in the eyes, but also the way she's sitting. The way she's sitting, this part, the front part should be up and the lower part should be down. Yeah, but it's opposite. It's the same. So perspective is also very confusing, and also the landscape behind. It's very what do you say? It had the horizon is cut out this side is cut out up, this side cut out down. So it is confusing because of that. कि क्या चल क्या रहा है? मतलब पीछे it is something else, or आते आते it is something else. So do you feel like why is confusing? So that's what he is trying to break the what that time used to see. Breaking that is also important, and that's what the artists do in time and age. That's why they are famous, because they didn't understood that time. Probably they understood, but not much people. And exactly that how can I tell this?
I mean, no predefined narratives.
Yeah, I mean, they'll talk about things that are artists. I would say what we see is the best art that come in is artists talking about that's not running, trending. They try to break what's going on. So that's what this is they'll talk about the others, I don't know how I can define the others that are not being talked about in the society also.
They excluded.
Yeah, the excluded. That's what I've seen the common thread between artists of any era. If they are truly an artist, their work is not necessary, but will somewhere or the other way. Not directly, but indirectly. Yeah.
So Sneh, is that what Khyati meant by when she said negative?
No. That was, I guess, I think we should ask her.
No, the negative space is the left out space of a drawing.
Yeah. Because she was talking about the sculpture, because it was very outside of the wall. That's why she was saying negative, positive, right, Kathy?
No, ma'am. The sculptures were made as a painting. So the space left out behind the person or the sky, basically the sky. I was talking about the sky and everything.
So can we move ahead? Yeah. So this is Francis de Goya is a very great painter. Just watch his works. His works are very romantic. Romantic is not that romantic that we see in movies. Romantic in the sense where there is horror, like where there is this the very poetic and very loner and very tranquil generally in nature. That's romantic. So this time you have to see whenever the period changes. Also, this time period, people were writing romantic writings were also romantic. So, like Das mentioned, that Ragamala paintings and Ragamala things. So, the visual in art, there are visual art. There is singing. There is other forms of art. So that will be seen and reflected in each and every work. So he was a romantic painter, and he painted very horrific paintings. But this is a commission work of a king. It's a very funny thing. It's a commission work of a king, and just look at the cruelty. He's managed to show the cruelty in his face. Just look at it. I mean, I should have asked you guys how you feel about this portrait.
Looks like a comical character.
Yeah. Anybody else?
The face looks like a comical character, except for that everything is just like a little bit plumper version of Napoleon.
Yeah.
He's standing straight and the head is in the dad's and the other side and looking like staring at the painter.
Yeah.
You also see horses behind it.
Yeah.
The horses look like a part of the land for some time.
You can see You can see as if they have been drowning in some pit or something. So very, maybe he started with the heroic form where his height is there, and because there are, as I told you,
Like to depict him as taller than the horses.
yeah, that's what, yeah. Anybody else want to say anything?
And it looks like he has a sword. I don't know whether it's a sword or a gun.
No, it's a sword. It's a sword. Gun abhi nahi aaya. Industrial revolution nahi aaya. Just very amazing thing. Just watch out when you are working, seeing a work. I have mentioned here because you have to see what kind of surroundings were there. Camera was invented or not. Industrial revolution has come or not. What kind of writings were. So this is the way you see the work in detail, more detail. If you want to go in the very deep depth, you can then assume, acha, this is the time when I told you romantic writings were happening. So, and his other works you have to see for that reason. But this particular work, I'm trying to say over here, he can't even hide it while doing a commission work. He was so honest to his work, Francis de Goya. So he's painting on demand of the king of Spain. So you know, and he couldn't hide it. What he meant it for him, what he felt about him. The same, the like Napoleon. He must be that same sort of person. So that kind of thing started to happen over here. Like horses are less important, and but he couldn't hide from his face. That's what I'm trying to say. So was the moment of change happening because artists were trying to, as you can see, it started from Vinci and other before that also. They were working something for themselves also. So artists started to break away, that they wanted to paint for themselves. There was an urge, obviously. So that urge we are talking about. So in starting, I told you the purpose of art. The monument was there because there was a purpose, belief system. There was this whole prestige of showcasing things and the property, and I'm sorry to say the property, but that's the truth. That's the whole thing around it. So somewhere artists were true to themselves, I understand, but that's what was documented because look, when money pours in, there's things happening. So this is the Stonebreaker by Courbet. So this was they were starting to look at the labors, and this is probably the starting of industrial, just starting, setup and all. So there's the labors come in. So artists decided to paint labors for the first time in the history. Stonebreakers. And this is the painting on the right hand side and the sketch of the same. Maybe he have done it before painting this. Just see at the shirt that is ripped off. Can you see the shoes? Just look at the shoes. How different is that from the red of the king that was depicted?
Yeah. It looks like the hair is much more real. Like everything, you can understand it's painted, it's fake, but the hair doesn't look fake one bit. Whatever.
You said it very rightly. It's a realism. This works also comes under the ism called realism because they are showing the reality. Anything else they can see? The vessel that they made food on the right hand side. Just see.
the left hand side picture, if you just invert it and color it, it automatically turns to the left of the right hand side picture.
Probably that's the print also. I'm not sure because printing, now you would know the printing technique. Whatever you draw would come the mirror of it in the print. So probably this is the print, or it is the photograph that's taken that way. I'm not sure. It's not a print, I guess. It's a print. It's a lithograph. Yeah. Yeah. It's a print. That's why it is opposite. Yeah.
That's why it's black and white.
Yeah.
Because
No,
we
but
can't-
there were color prints as well. But litho, yeah, there are color prints also.
Okay, I did not know that there were color prints at that time.
Yeah. It's there.
In this painting, though the sky is not important, it is shown. So why is it shown? Balance the painting.
This no, because they are showing what they are doing on ground, what they are doing on the ground. So probably the sky is just shown in the bit of that. So you can also think about that. Why the sky is shown in the right hand corner just this much? Because they don't have time to see the skies. You can interpret, it's open for interpretation. That's what I'm saying. What has been written about the work and the data of it is not that important, that what you see in it. You can probably make assumptions because this is how you see a work of art. Nothing is right or wrong. It's for the viewers. And an artist is not there. It's a painting from 19th century. So you have to assume and relish it.
Nobody's eyes are shown. Like there are no eyes are painted here.
Yeah, because they are in work, they are into something. It's a kinetic. His hammer is going to bang the ground, and the hat is there, and everything.
Probably gonna break a rock.
Yeah, it's a stone breaker. So
But isn't this like child labor?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that guy is a child.
I don't think so. That time the child labor concept must be there.
No, the child labor concept wasn't there in ancient times. And anyway, I don't think that guy on the right is a child. Like, and then there is a basket, like a woven basket with or some plant, wheat probably.
Yeah.
The left-hand side of the right-hand side.
That's what it is shown. I mean, the before work had horses and the things related to kings that they use, and these are the things that they are associated with the vessel. They must have cooked just some hours before. So how also the color palette change. You just see that it's a very earthen color. Over there, rich reds and goldens were used. Over here, the colors.
Royal colors and earthly colors.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. So this again that time period. There were artists. Everybody started, like not everybody, but most of them started to paint labor, especially this Millet, this guy. So he's sewing. He's a sewer. Just look at the way he's going to
There's
in
something.
action.
There's something on the right-hand side of the picture in the distance.
Just look at it for a while, Anusha. Yeah. Just look at it for 30 seconds and identify what it can be.
I don't know. It looks like a person.
Anybody else has to say something?
The man in the background looks like he is standing beside a water body.
Or is he like a farmer, like hay?
He's trying to upturn a cart. Looks like he's trying to upturn a cart.
But just look at it, the color scheme has changed. Over this side, over that side, the sunlight is more. Just see how the color palette changes for a reason also. It's not that always artist uses their freedom, like just to, it's a means to show the realism over here and the labor class in this time period in the name of realism. So they're trying to show things as much as realistic as possible. Over here, king is not posing for hours, and whenever he wants to come, he's just He just was doing it and he just sketched it, and probably with the sketch he just painted it and was just thought about the color schemes, and it's imagination of the artist that goes in. So that's been shown, because if a person isn't kinetic, he's not posing over here. That's the main thing that is different from the other. They are not posing, for them. So this is a movement. So how you make line, how you define a body, how you define a form. So yeah. So again, Mille, women are shown. Before that, women are not. Queens are obviously depicted, but the layman. Now this is the horses that was. This is Theodore Garicot, and just look at this, and just look at this. This is the fourth camera, this camera invented. What is the difference? What is truth that has been revealed between this painting and this photograph, sequence of photographs?
This photograph is like how a horse runs, like the horse riding.
No. Guess it. Come on. Now you have to guess.
Maybe who won?
No. Next, anybody? Guess.
In this picture, sorry, in this painting, both the legs are up at the same time.
You know the answer. How, Ayati? Yeah.
In that painting, if all four legs of the horse, if they are up at the same time, it doesn't work like that.
Exactly. That's what Ayati told, na? Yeah. That's what she said. That's not possible. That's not possible. That's shown because
it'll just fall down like that.
So that's there. This painting is done before the invention of camera. That's why artists thought that the horse must be running like that. So this is the very interesting observation, between these two work. And then this, the artist Mayberg captured this to show that look how horse runs. Not all legs are in both the ends up high. If it is in air also, just see the second clip on the upper part. It's like inward. So again, the realism over here is also there. Realization of something after invention of camera. Then artist had a very great hard time because the invention of camera has happened. So now kings and queens have their pictures made in probably the studios at that time. So and the whole beauty of painting very realistically is dodged, So that's why this work, artists try to see work, try to paint on the spot. Now they have come up with a new thing. They started to paint in front of that person. Before this they were calling the artist or the people in the studios, and probably the stone breakers, they must have gone there and sketched and come back and made the picture in their studios. But the studios, artists are getting out of their studios and painting there for hours, and capturing the light, how the light changes, and how the color changes. Just the same architecture, but of this different time period in the sense different daylight. So just look at, and there are series of this is Cathedral Reims, Paris. So this is the artist Monet, one of the leading figure from Impressionism. You call it Impressionism. Anybody wants to ask anything? Let's go further. So this is again Monet's painting. It's water lilies. So look at the way he's painted. Just look at it, because he could have made it realistically, but what's the use of it? You can get a picture out of it. So the challenge has come there now. How you paint it, in a very different way, and you give what is creatively done, expected from an artist. What is that he's breaking through in the sense कि कुछ नया लेके आना table पे, what you're getting new to the table. So this is impressionism. There are many artists. I was just showing one of them. Yeah, what do you see here? I want to know. Everybody is very silent. Please just look at it for a while, and just look at it for some time, and then come up with the answers. Like, what do you think is the difference from whatever was happening from before?
I think artists only have a little amount of time, so they are doing it in a rush.
Amazing. Good, Avinash. Yeah. It's a moment. Impressionism is like putting an impression of a scene, So that's there. Yeah. Anybody else? So how they are doing this?
Ma'am, it's showing the underwater view.
Maybe that's the reflection also. You can't just say that. It's a reflection also, Upper part can be the reflection, lower part can be something that he's able to see from the transparent blue. Yeah, that's there. You're right. That's there. But the upper part, maybe some foliages must be coming from up. So maybe something must be reflection, because it's water. It's not easy to paint water. And also with the water always moving. Just understand that. What else? Colors, you have to see how fresh they are. I mean, they are mixing the color on the work, and also the details are less. Just try to look at it. They are using lines more, and the brushwork more. Brushwork is there, I know you guys must have not tried your hands much with the oil painting, and so brushwork is like you just it's there. The marks are there. You leave it. Before this painting, there were also oil painting done. The Goyas and this kind of, they use brush, but there were no brush marks in there. They were smoothly finished. That's the difference. You got?
There is more of patchwork, and even the main object of the painting is shown suggestively.
Yeah, because it's the spur of the moment. It's impressionism. Now look at this. This is one of my favorite artists. And like I love his work. I would say, if I say a lot about it, just yeah. So this is the artist JWM Turner. He always painted shipwrecks, burning trains, and the windstorm. His paintings work would be also like this, termed like that. Just look at the impression of it. Just look at impression of it.
It feels like there's something written on the bottom.
Written? What? Where?
There are some marks.
Where, with the bottom, some bottom side, or the any right hand side or left hand side? Bottom must be the sign, but not something written, because the brush marks has become thicker over here. He has used very thick brush marks somewhere. Because of that, you must be thinking like that. But there's no text. I'm sure about that.
No, there is a bridge there.
Yeah, it's there.
I think this house is surrounded by water.
Yeah, that's also right. That's also right.
There's a building there, and there's a reflection.
Fire is reflecting. in water.
Yeah. How you guess that its water is there? Tell
There's a
me.
bridge.
Reflection.
Yeah,
Reflection.
bridge reflection. Good.
We can see the burning area more clearly in the reflection of the water.
Yeah.
Like the
Is
fire.
there this castle at the back? Like a fort kind of thing at the back of the painting.
Yeah, it's there. Structure is there. Yeah. So it's a river bank basically, and house is on fire, as you have suggested. You must be have got by the title. And this man always wanted to paint shipwrecks, burning shipwrecks, and shipwrecks coming towards port, and things on fire, some accidents, that sort of, because industrialization has come up, and some trial and error has come up. You can guess that, that's another thing. You don't have to go till there. I'm just saying, but just enjoy the color of it. And but the interesting thing is that he painted all these things, and people were beside them. What are you doing? I mean, that's a very new concept. Something is burning and you are painting here. He was being beaten up for that. So that's the story about it. And because for him, these sites were very, very romantic and very, very, what I must say, it's very contradictory. I understand, but this kind of things, artist has been always in the studio in painting like a labor, and now artist has come out, and they're seeing things on the first hand, and they're painting the impression of it. Anybody has to ask or tell anything?
So this actually happened, this burning of.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It is happening and he's painting it. That was the whole idea of Impressionism. I'm not saying people took the topic and they painted it, but it's the natural thing. I mean, now if you see the day and age you are living in, you have to be on social media just for the, I mean, that's just the thinking, the threads. This might join somewhere, the thought process. This is the thought process that joined. People didn't, artists didn't sit there and decided, let's paint this. Because camera was invented, that the need was over. So they want to come up with something else. And art was free this time, after the realism and things happened. Because a king is not that in power after industrialization. The dynamic is changing. So things are changing and everything is changing. So artist is free now to paint what he wants to paint. So, so they are taking liberty to paint disasters, as you can see. Does anybody want to say anything? Any contradictory questions are also invited.
Yes, because you said contradictory, I am saying, see, camera has been invented, so these real life happenings can come up in cameras. So shouldn't the artist go more for his imagination and that type of? No, I'm not saying you should go. Wouldn't that have been the way? So rather than
good question, very nice question. But as I told you, they painted in their studios getting sketches from outside, and they already imagined Saint Matthew there right before, so early, from the scriptures they were reading. They imagined. They didn't saw Saint Matthew, angel and coming in. That's the thing. Artists always imagined before this. Have I answered your question, Das?
Yes. Imagination was there before as well.
Yeah. Because they are painting the scriptures, no? The Jataka paintings and the Janta Ellora paintings, yes. And also the Pata paintings, whatever, Ragamala paintings, they're imagining everything. Are they going to see all these things and painting them? They are imagining all these things.
And Atmika, when you showed that Matthew's picture, Atmika, you asked them what was peculiar. She said that legs, that legs attract. So they saw the painter imagined that in his own form, isn't it? There was a humanist nature to his imagination. That's what when she said legs, she noted the legs in that natural painting.
Abstraction later, bro.
Yeah, it is abstract. Also, this work has abstract elements. You are going to the right direction. I mean, after this, you know what? When an art,
thicker brush, like thicker brush strokes, make the paintings look more and more abstract.
Yeah. That's amazing observation. Yeah, very good. Actually, what artists paint also is a next work is also the forthcoming, like the coming of the next one. So there's no wonder after this abstraction is going to come. Not that soon, but yeah, because he's an commendable artist out of his time period. Just look at him. Before that, the artist also, like this time period only, Monet and everybody is also depicting things, but that's not that abstract. No? But this is very abstract because probably the landscape is the reason. Anyways, let's talk about Van Gogh also. He's an artist who suffered a lot. You must have known about him because of his brushworks and the way he depicts the painting. Just look at the flowers, the sunflower that is depicted. Actually, the left hand side is the museum picture that I took. That's why the square is in between. Don't get confused. It's not the part of the work. I wanted to show the real color scheme. Actually, this is the color scheme, not this one. This is the Google picture on the right hand side. It's not the original color. This is the original color. So he painted a lot of sunflowers. He painted a lot of landscapes. But his brushworks are like, and the way he depicts things, the sunflower, look at the sunflowers. Isn't it ugly?
Maybe he's going through such a situation or something, so influenced by that, is he drawing that? Like in a sad way or depressed way? He's making things looking worse.
Yeah. Anybody else? Avinash, I'll come to you. I'll come back to you. Anybody else? Avinash, were you knowing about the life of his life?
No, I haven't heard his name.
You haven't heard Van Gogh's name? Anyways, just you have to see Van Gogh's work and also not in Google, please, because his color schemes and everything. Just go in a Google Art project that I mentioned you earlier. Just go and see his works. You have to see them. It's an experience of a lifetime. And if you are there somewhere in outside also, it's an experience. Just don't miss. And yeah, Avinash is right. I mean, amazing. Yeah, he was a very depressed fellow, and I mean, he was not recognized as a lifetime. Actually, he also went to mental asylum and all this. So very, yeah, but his works, I mean, probably you are right also, but I would like to see it the other way also, that if he's painting sunflower fresh, but he's painting, and suddenly after 2-3 days he's coming back to it and it is gone like that. But he chose to paint like that. It didn't change that sunflowers with the fresh sunflowers. So that is the choice that he's making. You understand?
After a few days, the sunflowers get a bit. So he painted the sunflower after a few days when it was not fresh, right? In that
That's
way.
what that's what I want to assume also. Why can't we give a chance of doubt? You know, that we have to give that doubt. No, we have to see things with afresh. I know this story that he was depressed and everything, but I want to make it aside. I want to see it. क्या मालूम ये हुआ होगा. I mean, you have to understand the mundanity of the things. You have to see it on that level. That's what art, like, you have to see like that. You have to challenge. You have to challenge the seeing and looking of a work of art in a way, just removing what is being written about his history, and then you can go to history. Okay, I know how to read it then. So you have to see the art and his how to see it, and then you can read what's happening.
The flowers definitely don't look fresh because one flower doesn't have all its petals, and then two flowers in the bottom are facing downwards.
So round that petals are gone. Just look at them. Major of the flowers petals are gone.
Oh, yeah.
That round. What are these? Those.
I heard those were the petals, different kinds.
No. Just look at them. The marks are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is again another work of Van Gogh. So he's painted a lot of skies, but what I sent you was the different one. Let's go to the next one. Let's talk about this. Yeah, I liked the one comment. These are the bushes that are rotten bushes. That was by whom? That was amazing, actually. I like that. That was by whom?
This looks like a rotten tree by me.
You told, na? All right.
I don't know. It also looks like hair from
Yeah.
point, but then it looks like, and you can see the wind just blowing along.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Ma'am, are Van Gogh's painting varnished again or recreated?
Yeah, most of the time. But they are like Jahangir hai wo. Matlab, you have to restore them also. They have restored it very well. They have been repainted a lot of time here and there, but they're restored in a way. You know, if the brick has fallen, the bricks, what I'm saying, bricks, the chips of the paint is fallen, they'll restore that. Yeah.
But they're patchworks. So how can patchworks be restored?
That's and the restorer's work. That's not our job.
Feels as if there's a picture staying here. Maybe because of the moon and the house which is having a very big roof.
Who stayed there? Which?
Yes.
Okay. Again, it's a very romantic painting, actually. It's a very romantic painting. Even the sunflower, I may say, it's a very romantic and very horrific painting. You feel so many things together. You feel haunted. There can be haunted space. So also, it's all the brushworks that he uses. It's very challenging to paint like that. He painted with a very big, just this thick. We call it a impasto painting. When you use this thick brush strokes and this thick paint on the canvas, it's impasto paintings. And don't ask me how he afforded. His brother was very kind and amazing friend of his who gave him lot of not lot of, but he gave him money to paint and use this heavy materials and freely for using. So he's not painted a single piece in his lifetime. It's very, because of the way he paints, it's very unusual. It's breaking so much often. He's challenging so much himself, but I'll not say he was he wanted to paint like that. That urge was there. He didn't wanted to paint like others. So this time period, Manet was painting in Paris and all. This guy was painting somewhere else in a village. So they were the celebrated artists of that time. Monet, the Lilies, and everyone. He was not that celebrated, but still, artist painting, while not being celebrated, it's a greatness of an artist, I must say. Here, the greatness is coming in. So just look at the works, and this is the progression of Picasso's work, how he's painting very realistically, This is not one work. This is many of his time period, lifetimes work together, you know, like how he painted from realistic bull to went to just simple 6 to 7 lines, you know. Next. So Cubism have come in. So the Cubist painters had this technique of painting from all different sides, four sides of painting, and they created this kind of image where you can see a guitar and a man. I'm sure about that. These two things you can see, not more than that. Try watching it.
It looks like the sides where the man and the guitar aren't there. There's like a construction area, and if you look in a different angle, the man and the guitar are like tiles in down below, like in a hole. It's like
Yeah.
there's a
Here there is lot to see, a lot to see. I mean, yeah, a lot to see, because he's reconstructing the image of by painting it from every angle. I've told you in by the starting only of this painting that in this technique, like major artists painted an object in keeping an object in between and painted from all the sides. So on one work, so it was like, you know, deconstructing an object. So this is Henry Moore, a sculptor, and how he is also trying to you know, deconstruct a human reclining figure. And in the left hand side, the reclining figure is you can still recognize, but how is going to abstract on the left? Just see, because it's the first on the left hand side is the work from the early time, and on the right side it's the work from the later stage. So how the artist whole journey comes to, you know, comes to, like, you can see how he progress or how he changes, how he evolves. So that's why I've shown these two images, how he's traveled from the cubist or the that kind of things to the abstract forms, just two forms. Just see the reclining figure being so simplified. Now sculpture, this is painting, and again this is just this is the mela or the circus, that the mela he's trying to depict. And look at it, how frolic it is because of the colors and the deformation of it, how they're trying to choose what they want to paint and go towards what they want to go towards. So after this work, next slide please, this guy's work only, just look at it. He's used the colors and used it as yeah, over here this is a composition of the music that he says he's composing. I'm not saying he's listening or not listening, but he's saying it's like composing of something. He has mentioned himself over here. Artists have tried making statements, you know, not like before. Now artists have their own what do you say, testimony that they come up with this in this time period, 19th century, 20th century. So, you know, they kind of the artist himself claimed that I'm painting and showcasing the musical composition of a trumpet or that kind of things. This is abstract. You have to define and depict things. So over here, he's chosen color schemes as his basic element to ride on. Yeah. Just look at this work. It is very light. As you can see, the images of the forms are floating in the air. Alexander Calder. Just see the floating and the sculpture. This is a sculpture hanging to a wall, and it is also called a mobile sculpture because it is hanging to the ceiling, and it is hanging in the air. It's the first time in the history of sculpture that the sculpture is mobile, and it's also kinetic. It can move, and the title is Lobster, Trap, and Fishtail. So the artist originally was an engineer, and he after that he decided to make sculptures out of aluminum sheets. So how the abstraction and cubism, and then the sculptures, how it's evolving and changing, the form. This is Piet Mondrian. Let's look at the work. Do you think it's Cubism also there? Yeah? Anshu? Yeah?
I have no idea. To me, it just looks like bricks or a whole lot of sticky notes just slapped onto a wall.
But just think of that work that I showed you earlier, Cubism, Cubist work.
No, but this doesn't depict anything properly.
Exactly. So they are in their very later stage. Just look at it. This is the work. This is not one work. These are 6 works. So the work depicted on the right, left hand side top is the first work of Piet Mondrian, and which we see earlier before this slide is the bottom left side. So that was also in the middle stage. So how he is progressing? So his whole lifetime, life period, his whole lifetime's work. How he's deconstructing the tree. He's come up with the tree and deconstructed it so much with just this right hand side bottom painting. Just blocks. It's getting heavy, isn't it? Look at this. Is the later period. Is when he's very old. He's painting like this. Just think of it. I'll give you just one answer for this, just to swallow it. When the scientists come up with the equation, you don't question it, because there are reasons to it. So even here, try to understand the reasons. Try to understand the reasons behind it, because that's experts thing to question a scientist. So there are experts thing to question artists like this also. It's not that they are coming up with anything and just going back. There are art historians and I must not say curators, art historians and critiques. There are critiques and there are art historians questioning them when they present this show. Whenever they do a show and come up with a breaking edge idea like this, they have been questioned and they have been written about and they have been asked about. And over here, the time has come where artists talk about their work on their own, rather somebody else talking about them. Because that time, from impressionism it started like that. The artist had been questioned, but not that much, because they were still depicting fresh colors and reality. But now there are more questions, and I understand why viewers come up with the questions to artists, because it has come to this stage where they are coming up with a very groundbreaking ideas. Try to understand. For understanding him, you have to read him. You have to know the history. That's why I went through a history to make you understand where we have come in art, you know. Yeah, so this is again that kind of very, and actually you have to also understand one more thing. This is a time period of war, World War. So people wanted to depict colors. That guy, that Kandinsky painted, and these people painted color schemes. So they painted color schemes, and color was the front thing, because they wanted to provide therapy for what they were looking at, the broken and tear bodies. Listen to this, guys. They were fed up of seeing war, and the the toad, the wounded muscle, or very destructive images were going around, because of the posters were come up with that, because that time posters and those kind of things were published on the roads, and people used to see, and obviously people used to see it, what's happening. So that's why this kind of art has come up. You understand, industrial evolution, and then this. So what's going on that time, that reflects on artist's mind and what artists want to present. So again, this is color field. Just imagine, if you see this work, it's a very big work, very big work. You just look at it, you feel like you are inside that white space. It's a very therapeutic feeling, you will not get it in this picture. It's an experience altogether. Yeah, the last few works. So this is abstract expressionism. Somebody has come up with the comment with this work, that after this work, next work, that it is like some frustration happening here. Who was that?
Rishikesh was telling a lot of people are fighting over.
Yes.
So this is this is not the wartime. It's just it's a over, like this is the second war just has come up, ended, and people were thinking what to paint, and this action painting started to come, expressionism started to pour in.
I don't know why, but it looks like a lot of tribals, the whites.
Lot of
tribals just dancing around.
Like after looking at this picture for so long, I don't know, I could feel some people behind it. Like to my left side, I could see some women. I don't exactly if it's some person, but yeah, it feels like there's some, like it's a picture of some people, and then there's some paint through on them. I don't know.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because you can see it that way, just whatever you have seen till now, the presentation, it's the everything that's going behind, and then suddenly abstraction. You just see, this guy Jackson Pollock, he was a very big admirer of Picasso, and Picasso has done everything. He's done cubism, he's done abstraction, he's done realism, he's done everything. He's painted like day and night, he's painted everything and everywhere. He didn't had any one particular style, he painted everything. So this guy was just watching his work, and he's just throw his book, and he said, this guy has nothing left to paint for us. So this is very funny, so artists are going through what all have happened, and then they're painting this kind of thing. This is his later works, before even he was painting a little differently. This is a later work, and this got very very famous, because it has gone through a very much heavy thought process, very heavy thought process. And kudos to Shri Lakshmi. You're able to see very freshly and very amazingly. That's the way to see the work of art, because it's the process involved in this work, in this particular work. And for all of you, this work is enamel paint, just thrown, just pour, like, kuch gir jata hai na, the dal sometimes fell from your table, so that's how he's just thrown things. That's the frustration of what all he has seen and understood. Anyways, but this is, I can't make you understand this work completely, because this is the painting that will make you grow. Try and see works every day, every year you try to see how you within yourself change. I never used to like Picasso in my bachelor, my undergrad time, but in my master time I used to like. Now I don't like. Sometimes I like some work, you grow, as in your eyes grows. So the important thing is to exercise your eyes, watching works, going to museums. In India there are a lot of things to go. I can suggest you some of the places, the temple architecture, everything. You have to see and exercise your eyes.
Ma'am, it was a wonderful session. First of all, I'm not a person who is interested in art. Like I was not a person, but after seeing all these works, I think I have drawn some interest in it. So I will definitely check out the other artworks that you suggested.
Yeah, yeah. Google Art Project. Make sure you go there.
Yes, ma'am.
Even you can find Kochi Muzri's Binale that is happening in Kerala. The art, a Google Art Project that covered that also. But I will not say everything, but some of it.
Ma'am, I would tell the session was really great. Like, I'm someone who loves history, to explore more about the past. So for me, going into the past, coming from the old times to now, that was really great. And then right now, I actually see, the meaning behind each paintings. Even Mona Lisa, I've never, like till today, I've gone through a lot of things. We study about it. I've never looked in the behind what all were there. And today is the first day in my life I'm like literally looking at the picture this much and going into it. So that the all credit goes to you, ma'am. It was really great.
Thank you. You must have got how to see. Just see some time period, see what happened there. But first you see the work. That's important. You see the work first for a few minutes. At least if you don't have time, just few minutes, 2-3 minutes. But you should give 10 to 50 minutes to work. And then you can go through, okay, Google, okay, ये time period पे क्या हुआ रहेगा उस time पे? What all would have happened around? What was going on? And okay, so now you can enter it. You don't have fear of entering. You don't have to be feared of entering art space. Even a contemporary, we can do an extension of it also. But I guess you can ask questions. If you ask questions to the contemporary art shows and go inside and talk about it. Okay, I know this. What after this? Okay, this I can see this in this. So they can talk. You can have something to offer, and they will give you. Okay, that stage should be there. That's why you feel little. Arey, I can't understand. And even the artist thinks that कहाँ से बोलना शुरू करूँ इसको मैं, ये बात हो जाती है. So वो थोड़ा इसलिए बोलते थोड़ा होमवर्क यहाँ पे वो चीज से.
It's like everybody maybe they be listening to some music maybe every day, every night when before they sleep. We should also see listening, going to the Google Arts art project, just seeing a artwork one day and going to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. Also,
that will bring a lot of change. Just like you go and you hear a song and you sleep well. You just go to a Google Art project, just one painting. For me, I cannot take one more than one work at a time.
Yeah, it was very heavy. Even I.
No, just go there and see it. And now we are all appreciating Sneha, thanking Sneha, but we should grow from appreciating Sneha to appreciating not the painter but the work.
Yeah.
One day see the work and just sleep. No, it is not. And your eyes, as Sneha said, your eyes grows, your brain grows. On the next year, when you are next grade, you will see that the same painting you're saying same artwork, you are saying it in a different way.
Yeah, good. There's also one or two YouTube channel I want to suggest. Art assignment. Write it down. Art assignment. In just won't go today and see that today it's enough for today. You can go tomorrow and like you see, check out. They have covered like isms and the favorite artists and artists. I mean, it's very good. Yeah.